BBC Radio Solent, that's Huey Lewis and the news and the power of love at 13 minutes to 8 here on BBC Radio Solent with me, Sam Fraser, in for Katie Martin till 10 this Saturday morning. Now, you heard before we launched Huey Lewis and the news. I mentioned the particular challenges of living with blindness or partial sight through this pandemic. Hampshire charity Open Sight have been working hard to provide information and activities for all those affected. And Debbie Ross joins me now from the charity. Hi, Debbie.
Good morning, Sam. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm pleasantly warm in the studio. I know it's very chilly out. I hope you're snuggly too. Let's just talk about the charity and the ways in which you've had to adapt over the past year. What sort of services have you been offering up till the pandemic, and how did they change?
Okay, so as an organisation, obviously we help support visually impaired people to be as independent as they possibly can, and help them through some of the obstacles that they have. And majority of that, some of that has been through peer support with our social groups. Obviously, not being able to meet up face to face has caused a challenge for us. But also we have our face to face services where we would go out to the person's home and help with their everyday living needs with information, advice, guidance, signpost them to other organisations that they might find useful. That had to come to a halt. We go and give benefits advice as well, so help complete those dreaded 42-page application forms that obviously people struggle that they can't see, so we couldn't go out to their homes to do that. Our family support, obviously supporting the children across Hampshire, also meant that we couldn't do home visits, so that came to a halt. And we were due to do an activity, fun day for the children, and that got postponed initially and then had to be cancelled. So it has had a massive impact. Zoe, who's I know will be joining us, also works for Open Sight. She has a visual impairment herself, and her role in the organisation is to help people to get online and how to get the most out of their smart device and introduce apps on their smart devices that makes life that little bit easier.
Well,
So that's kind of the services we did before we had to lock down.
And all of this presumably has moved online. Let's just talk to Zoe because, as you say, Zoe Hanscombe also working for Open Sight. Hi, Zoe.
Hello there.
Now, Zoe, I was thinking about this when I was chatting to our producer, Rose, about the particular challenges of being visually impaired in this new world where, I was thinking, how do you socially distance, as a visually impaired person or a blind person, you don't know where people are.
Exactly. It's extremely difficult. A lot of visually impaired people, not every visually impaired person is totally blind, but even if you've got some form of visual impairment, it's so difficult to judge distance, to see your surroundings. So it's very, you feel very anxious going out. You've obviously got to get out to get your essentials, go to work if you have, can't work from home, and get your exercise. But walking around, trying to get about is very, very difficult indeed during these times. We can't see the signage telling us, we've got to queue here. It is extremely difficult.
Yeah, and I guess all the sanitising stations as well, you'd need to be directed to those. I must just bring a whole new level of anxiety.
It does, and with our where we've had to change a lot of our services, we have been sort of trying to give our visually impaired community sort of little tips. So when it comes to sanitisers, a lot of us indeed used to carry sanitizers around in our bags or coats before COVID. But we've been advising people, if they can, carry your own sanitizer so that you don't have to worry about trying to find, the spot in the shop or wherever you're going to where you're going to be having to clean your hands. It's just trying to think ahead and keep calm and take things as much as take lots of things, like sanitizers and gloves and stuff like that, just to make you feel a bit more comfortable that you don't have to keep finding those different things when you're out.
Now, we heard from Debbie about the work that the charity does and moving it online. And I know you've come up with loads of exciting enterprises and initiatives and things for people to get involved with. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, so from the start of the pandemic back in March, we soon realised that we needed to adapt things. So I got straight on to try and get our community using online services with us. So I've taught a lot of people how to use Zoom as one of the virtual meetups. And that's extended from having general meetups with visually impaired people so we can talk about our anxieties and moans and groans and so forth. And it's extended into actually doing other activities. So I've done a couple of smartphone workshops, and our daily living services have been doing some online live webinars, if you like, with suppliers of equipment and products designed for visually impaired people. So you can listen in. If you've got some use of vision, you can watch the video, and then you get a chance to ask live questions to those suppliers and to our staff as well. If you've got any questions about different things that you've seen or watched in the video. We're also coming up with baking session for the visually impaired, and we're doing that with Penny Melville Brown, who's baking blind superstar. She's blind herself and she's travelled the world, and she's going to do a lovely session with us next month for our visually impaired community. We've got so many things going on. We've got a virtual book club that which is coming up. So obviously we understand people are not able to get out and normally meet their friends and do their normal activities. So it's just really asking our community what they would like, and us, adapting to that and see if we can provide that.
Well, it sounds very lively and interactive, and certainly definitely well worth a visit. Debbie, if people are interested and they're listening, how can they get involved with Open Sight?
Certainly check out our website at www.opensight.com. I'll get this right. It's www.
It's too early.
Help me out here, Zoe.
It
is.
Yeah,
Zoe, help.
I'm helping. Right, so you can contact us on our website, which is www.opensight.org.uk.
Yeah.
We're also on social media, so you can get us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So we've got over 80 YouTube videos currently on our channel, giving you tips and hints and ideas of living with a visual impairment. We've also got a recent video from our daily living chap Steve, who's also visually impaired, shopping hacks. So going out shopping and being able to see prices and products. He's given you a few tips there. So I've covered the social media. And our phone number. Do you want our phone number?
Give us the phone number.
I'll give you the phone.
That's 023 80 641 244.
Oh my goodness,
That's
Debbie,
it.
look, she came into her own at the end. I love it. Girls, Thank you so much. Really sounds fascinating and incredibly useful. Thank you so much for joining us here on BBC Radio Solent. That was Zoe Hanscombe and Debbie Ross of Open Sight. Truly sounding inspirational there.
Alan Newman at breakfast.